Well, welcome Jordan and Kim to our panel validation session, and I hope you received all the papers that were sent out to you and have reviewed them ahead of this meeting. Is that right, Chris?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep, I have.
Great. Okay. Now this is a panel validation of 3 assessments that were done for the training package BSB07, Business Services Training Package, and it's for BSB 30211, the Certificate 3 in Customer Contact, and for 2 units of competency in particular, BSB CUS 301B, Deliver and Monitor a Service to Customers, and BSB CMM 301B, Process Customer Complaints. So, our purpose for this validation session is for a panel to review the assessor's findings for 3 candidates, and they're simply called Sample A, Sample B and Sample B, and we are to decide if the evidence collected is adequate to determine competence and if the original findings were valid. Now, as you would have read, the assessor assessed each of the A, B and C as being competent, and we're here to validate whether that is so. So let's make a start. You've got your, you've certainly got your unit of competency that I sent out to you from the training.gov.au website.
Yep.
So you know what the key performance indicators are, or performance criteria, I should say. You've seen the assessment plan, and I've also given you the customer contact assessment task 1, or it should actually read assessment task A, marking guide. And what I'm proposing is that we go for each candidate, we go against each item and compare what the candidate has written against what the marking guide allows us to look for. Okay, so there'll be plenty of discussion, and so let's get straight into it and see how we go. And at the end, I'm going to summarise through our checklist for our assessment decisions whether we feel that the assessor's findings were valid or not. Let's start with Sample A. Okay, Sample A. Under the item Keep Your Promises, you can see that there are 2 bullet points. Any thoughts on whether those 2 bullet points align with the marking guide?
Yes, the first bullet point seems to match with the first bullet point in the marking guide. In the Sample A, under Keep Your Promises, it says keeping promises will help maintain customer loyalty. And it sounds similar to keeping your promises also proves your loyalty to your customers.
Right, okay, well that seems pretty... How do you feel about that, Kim?
Well, it says for the next one, a good reputation is built upon the keeping of promises, and that looks awfully like the first bullet point, which says keeping your promises is essential in building your reputation.
Right. So it sounds like there are 2 good bullet points there, and they have to give 2 points. The student instruction says write at least 2 points for each category. Well, they've given us 2.
Yeah.
And we all agree that it aligns with the marking guide. Okay? Very good. Let's go to item number 2, friendly and compassionate. Any thoughts on this one?
Well, they put helps to build a good reputation in the customer base, which sounds like the first bullet point, key factor in determining success when working in the customer service industry.
Yeah, okay.
And the second one says helps to ensure
repeat business.
Well, it sounds like the third bullet point under number 2 says improves overall sales and problem solving capabilities.
Right, so the sales have improved, which could be aligned to repeat business.
Yes.
Also makes it easy to build a reputation.
Yeah.
Well, helps to build a good reputation. So I'm inclined to say that it's accurate to say that they align with the marketing guide. Do you feel comfortable with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Know your organisation. How do we feel?
The first one, which says, the first bullet point which says helps customers to feel confident in your product. It seems to match with 2 points under number 3. Firstly, it says makes it easier for customers to trust your decisions and the type of products or services and all the services you are trying to sell to them. And the second one is if you can answer any questions you are asked about your company, they will believe you're a professional and you're aware of the items or services you are representing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So there seems to be some correlation there.
And the second one, this person's put helps build positive reputation and credibility, which sounds very similar to the third bullet point, which says this will enable you to quickly earn credibility and respect.
Right, so there's some good keywords there that align.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel as though that's pretty much within the ballpark. I feel comfortable with that one. Okay,
Yeah.
Negotiate and persuade. Again, we've got 2 bullet points, so
Yeah.
they've met that criterion
Yes.
of at least 2. What do we make of the first one?
Well, he said helps to make the most of sale opportunities, and that sounds very similar to the second bullet point, which says recognising when you have an opening to make a sale or developing the ability to communicate effectively with your customers is a way for you to earn more money or gaining the trust and loyalty of your clients.
Yeah, that's there. Yeah. Helps to make the most of sale opportunities. Yeah, that's certainly good. Okay, what about the next one?
Yeah, there's another bullet point which says builds your sales and communication skills. It seems to go with the last bullet point, which says it is important to develop your selling skills and practice your methods of persuasion regularly.
All right. Okay, this person, or the assessor's marking of this person so far seems reasonable. Okay, be confident. Again, we've got the 2 bullet points. What do we make of the first one?
The first one says it helps to make a sale when you are confident in your product and in your communications style. It's a good point, and I can see the same idea in the first bullet point under number 5. It says, by showing your customer how confident you are over the phone, it is possible to prove you believe in the products and services you represent.
Yeah, nice point. Yeah, nice alignment. Okay.
And the second one, he said displaying confidence will help to build a positive reputation, which sounds like the third one, where it says improving your public speaking and conversational skills will boost your performance when working as a customer service representative.
Yeah, I think that's certainly there. Help to build a positive reputation, boosting your performance as a customer. There's your reputation. Very good. Okay, be a great listener. What do we make of that one? The basis of good communication is listening and good communication. Well, I thought that sounded awfully like the first one. This is one of the most important customer service skills, and it can be improved over time.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah. What about the next one?
Listening shows you care and are generous. Genuine rather. Well, it sounds a lot like the fourth one, which says listening intently will help you to gain respect and to receive positive reviews by showing you are genuinely interested in what your customers have to say. And also the second one, listening intently and truly showing that you care to make your customer happy will definitely leave you with positive remarks and reviews from those you help.
How do you feel, Jordan? Do you agree with that?
I think the points match with the good ones in marking guide.
Okay, closing the deal. Right. Well, there's a few here that I had. When closing the deal, it's important that you take into account each customer's unique situation. This ensures they're happy with the outcome. And closing the deal successfully is essential to the running of your business. Well, I felt the first 3 points in the marketing guide align with that. Closing the deal anytime you're trying to make a customer happy is just as important as the introduction. So it helps you, closing the deal successfully is essential to the running of your business. So it's similar to that. Present various options for solutions to your customer and understanding how to close the deal and finalise the call to satisfy the customer. Well, you're ensuring they're happy with the outcome. And also the third one, when closing the deal, it's essential to know when to transition into the closing of the deal based upon each customer individually. And sample A says each customer's unique situation. So I feel that there's enough overlap there to warrant this candidate as having fulfilled that item. All right, number 8. What do we make of this one? Understand human psychology.
Well, the first point he said is makes it easy to connect and relate to your customers. And that sounds a lot like the first one that says this makes it easy to convey messages, make sales and genuinely connect with your customers.
And the second point in sample A says helps you to confidently engage with the customer and determine what product and services suits them. It goes with two points. Firstly, it is important to know how to pick up on tones, sounds, and the way your clients are speaking, so you can steer the conversation to a good outcome. And the third one, being able to detect body language. Being able to detect body language determines the best practices for making sales or generating interest in the products and services you represent.
All right. I think that there's a good overlap there. I don't think we have a problem with that. All right. 2 to go. Use positive language. Well, I thought that ensures a positive communicative experience for the customer was very similar to using positive language that is motivating and persuasive is the best way to reach your customers. So there's overlap there. And I also thought positive language is respectful and helps build a positive business reputation is similar to being cheery and incorporating simple manners such as please and thank you shows respect and generates a positive tone. So positive language is respectful, same concept.
They've hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, I feel very, positive.
Good answers.
Last one, have good computer skills. How did we feel about the assessor's findings on this one?
Well, it said accurate and timely data entry skills is important for phone-based customer service, and that sounds awfully like entering customer data quickly saves time on phone calls.
And the second one which says helps you to communicate effectively, will what's the word?
Helps you to communicate with colleagues.
With colleagues, okay.
In the
Colleagues
business
in
place.
the business place. Goes well with the first one. Good computer skills enable you to quickly communicate with customers and other individuals in the workplace.
Okay.
The other individuals would mean the colleagues.
Yeah, because it's in the workplace.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, given that we seem to be ticking this one fairly well,
Yeah.
that we feel as though sample A, the assessor judged this as competent. As a panel, we would judge this as competent.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to write in that the candidate gave at least 2 distinct points for each item, and that each point was clear and easily mapped to the model answers in the assessor guide.
Yep.
Yep. I would agree with
Is that a nice summary of how we feel about this?
Yep. I'm happy with it.
Okay, all right. Well, let's go to sample B. Look, I've got to say from the outset I have some concerns with sample B, and I just want to see how you feel about it. Let's go firstly to keep your promises. So, keep your promises. It's essential in developing a reputation. Well, you know, that sounds awfully like keeping your promises is essential in building a reputation, so I feel comfortable in awarding that.
Yeah.
Do you feel agree with that?
Yeah.
Improve management of expectations of customer complaints, and when helping individuals, it is essential to learn what you can offer. Anything in the model guide that would...
Sounds like C, learning how to manage expectations of customer complaints and what you can offer in exchange when you are helping an individual is essential.
Oh yeah, okay, all right. So
I think he's got that one.
all right. So keep your promises sounds fine.
Yeah.
What about friendly and compassionate?
The first point says will increase sales and improve problem solving. It sounds like the third point under number 2 improves overall sales and problem solving capabilities.
Yeah, okay, so we're going all right so far?
Yes.
And secondly, he's got important to determine success in the customer service industry, which sounds quite like the first one. Key factor in determining success when working in the customer service industry.
All right, yeah, I think that one, I think I could buy that one. So we're going quite well so far.
Yeah.
Know your organisation. Understand who are involved in managing the company procedures. I had difficulty aligning this one.
Doesn't really line up with any of them.
Oh, yeah, you know, you've got to sort of shoehorn it in there and it's not quite it. Look, I'm giving this a bit of a question mark.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite align, but for the moment I want to not be too harsh.
Yeah.
What about the next one?
It says prove to customers that you can perform your job. It sounds like the second point in marking guide. If you can answer any questions you're asked about your company, they will believe you're a good professional and you are aware of the items or services you are representing.
All right. Kim, do you agree with that?
Yep.
All right, I think, you know, we give that one the benefit of the doubt. Okay, what about negotiate and persuade? It's essential to develop charm and make jokes with the customers. Oh dear. Where do we
Can't really see that one.
No, I can't.
Yeah, look, it's just not there, and you wonder about making jokes with the customers. I mean, what sort of jokes? Maybe the customer might not feel that joking is exactly where the discussion should be. Either way, it's not in the marketing guide. What about the next one?
You shouldn't need to persuade the customer if they aren't talking to you.
Wow. So you ignore them. You don't persuade them of anything if they're not talking to you.
Make an effort. Not sure about that.
Not exactly going to win sales that way.
No.
Right. So do we agree that on item 4, this
Nothing really
person
lines
has
up.
not aligned with the marketing guide? Okay, what about be confident? It says, don't be afraid to take out your phone mid-conversation with a customer and tell them to walk away. Wow. How to win friends and influence people.
Yeah, that's a bit...
He's not having a joke with the customer, he's having a joke with us, I think.
And then ask your customer to join your local bowling team to build a relationship. Wow.
That's a bit far-fetched.
Especially if the customer's in Darwin.
Yeah.
Or he would do anything but play bowls.
Yes.
Yeah, look, I'd have to say that I'd marked that one, as with 4, I'd marked that one down.
Yeah.
That I could not see the level of competence attached to those 2. All right, let's proceed. Be a great listener. How did we feel about this one?
The first one says listening is vital to indicate your desire to tend to customers' needs and wants. Listening, he's saying listening is very important, and well, it would go with the second one in the marketing guide. Listening intently and truly showing that you care to make your customer happy, and it will definitely leave you with positive remarks and reviews from those you help. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Look, it's sort of bouncing in that broad area. Yeah.
I think the next one is on the money with being focused on the customer way and gaining respect and positive reception towards your service, because that lines up with the fourth one. Listening intently will help you to gain respect and to receive positive reviews by showing you are genuinely interested in what your customers have to say.
All right. Okay. Sounds like there is some alignment there. What about close the deal? Always try and strong-arm the customer into forcibly agreeing with you, even at the expense of their comfort. Wow.
You might get your repeat service that way.
There's nothing in the marketing guide that would agree with that, and you wonder how that person
thinks.
Yeah. Successfully convince the customer to actually join your bowling team.
That's interesting. But
What if they don't like bowling? They prefer the darts team. Yeah, look, I've given that one a blank.
Yeah.
I can't. There's a lot of elements of that that worry me, particularly the strong arming part. That really is a bit frightening. Okay, understanding human psychology. Okay, how do I interact with the customer and communicate effectively? How do we feel about this one?
Well, it seems to agree with the first point, which says this makes it easier to convey messages, make sales, and genuinely connect with your customers.
Yeah, okay.
And the second one, a natural ability to interpret the customer's body language and determine the best ways to make sales. I thought that sounded like the third one, being able to detect body language determines the best practices for making sales or generating interest in the products and services you represent.
Yeah.
Look, I wouldn't say this one's overwhelming, but
we've got to give it to them.
Yeah, okay. Let's not be mean. We'll give that one. Okay. Number 9. Use positive language. Use language that will motivate customers to make a purchase or get involved with the service provided. What do we think about that one?
Sounds like the third one, using positive language that is motivating And persuasive is the best way to reach your customers while encouraging them to make a purchase, accept a solution or get involved with your company's services.
All right, yeah, okay.
The second point is similar to the third point in the marketing guide, being cheery and incorporating simple manners such as please and thank you, shows respect to your customers and generates a positive tone.
Right, yeah, okay. All right, so we'll mark that one positively.
Yes.
Have good computer skills. Ask others, mainly the IT department, for help with viruses and try your hardest not to get a virus. Oh boy. I'd mark this one, I'm sorry, but I mark this one down. How does the panel feel?
Yep.
There's no reference to viruses.
Yeah.
It's good computer skills. Well, you know, viruses are just one part of it, but the essence of it is not in picking up on viruses.
And they've missed the crux of it, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, what do you think of this suggested response then? I've said sample B, the assessor judged it as competent. The panel, not yet competent. And our comments would be, the candidate supplied 2 points for each item. However, of the 20 points raised, 12 were inadequate, some were even banal. For example, good computer skills consisted entirely of dealing with viruses, and closing the deal involved encouraging membership of a bowling club. And know your organisation response was vague. The assessors somehow acknowledged these as being satisfactory. Well, they really aren't.
No.
Do we agree with that? Is that being too hard?
I don't think so. I'd be a bit coy about employing somebody with a mindset like that.
Yeah, strong-arming the customer, wow. Okay, let's move to our last one, which is sample C. Sample C, I have some real concerns about. The main one is, it says write at least 2 points for each category or item, and on a number of occasions there just aren't two. So quite apart from anything else, we have some deficiencies here. It's very light on. Is that how the panel feels?
Yeah, I have just looked through it and just, it looks a bit
light on?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's quickly go through this. Keep your customers, keep your promises, item 1. 1 point only. Customers reward honesty with loyalty.
That's
Sounds like the third one. Keeping your promises also proves your loyalty to your customers.
Yes, okay. So we're happy to acknowledge that that's a bullet point that roughly aligns with what's expected. However, there's only one bullet point, and there's a lot of others that just went begging. So, friendly and compassionate, improves sales and builds a reputation. Again, one bullet point. But how closely aligned is that bullet point? Do we feel that it corresponds with anything?
Well, it goes okay with the second and third points in the marking guide. Makes it easy to build a reputation, improves overall sales and problem-solving capabilities.
Yeah, no, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a pity he didn't divide it into 2 points.
Well, we can say it is 2 points, even though they've only presented it as 1. But I'd have to say that it's pretty light on.
Yeah, it is a bit thin.
Okay, know your organisation, 2 bullet points, very nice. Enables customers to feel at ease with the product. Well, look, I thought it roughly aligned with makes it easier for customers to trust your decisions and the type of products or services you are trying to sell to them. I sort of thought, okay, it approximates there.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to sort of go with that. What about will build loyalty and respect? Any thoughts on that one?
sounds like the last point, which says this will enable you to quickly earn credibility, which is a bit like respect.
Or loyalty.
Loyalty and respect.
Yeah,
loyalty,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Negotiate and persuade. One bullet point. Reinforces communication skills. Any alignment there with the marketing guide?
Well, it sounds like the third one. It is important to develop your selling skills and practice your methods of persuasion regularly.
Okay, yeah, okay. Reinforces communication. All right, okay. We can buy into that one. So far, though, we've got a real paucity of evidence here. The sufficiency of evidence doesn't look strong so far. Okay, let's continue. Be confident. Displaying confidence will make customers feel at ease and will enhance the respect of the customer. Not really there, is it?
No.
It's not in the marketing guide.
No. Yeah.
Will enhance the respect of the customer. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Just being confident, does that of itself enhance the respect of the customer? It seems all right. It seems a bit vague and a bit motherhoody, and doesn't really align with what the marketing guide tells us. And I'm saying I have to mark that one down.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable giving it.
Okay. Be a great listener. Listening shows that you care about the customer. Customers respond more positively if they feel someone is listening. Is that in be a great listener?
Yes. Well, yeah, listening intently. The second point in the marketing guide, this is in listening intently and truly showing that you care to make your customer happy. Will definitely leave you with positive remarks and reviews from those you help.
All right, so we feel that could align.
Yeah.
It's not strong.
Yeah.
It's a pity that it isn't stronger, but we're not here to be mean and horrible. It aligns, and that's all we need to say. Okay, closing the deal. Ensures a successful outcome for the customer. Make sure the customer is happy with the outcome.
Yes, I can see the second point going okay with the last point in the marketing guide. It's important to always ask your customer if they're satisfied and confirm you're on track. The first one ensures a successful outcome for the customer.
Well, let me ask you this question, panel. Those two bullet points sound like they're the one bullet point. Ensures a successful outcome for the customer. Make sure the outcome is happy with the customer, with the outcome. Sorry. Make sure that the customer is happy with the outcome. It's just
rewording the same idea.
It's one bullet point dressed up as two. Okay. Understand human psychology. If you understand human psychology, you'll be able to use various strategies dependent on the situation. Well, that's one bullet point. What do we make of that one bullet point?
Well, it sounds like the third point, being able to detect body language determines the best practices for making sales or generating interest in the products and services you represent.
So various strategies, being able to detect body language determines the best practice for making sales. So there's your best strategy based upon body language. There's a little bit of overlap, but it's not strong, is it?
Not
it's
really.
still only one.
And it's still only one, you're quite right. Okay, let's move on. Use positive language. Well, we've only got one point here. shows respect for your customers?
Yes. Well, it's like being cheery and incorporating simple manners such as please and thank you. It shows respect to your customers and generates a positive tone. Yeah.
It's there, but it's not strongly there.
It's only vague, I think.
Very vague. And it is only one point. Okay, the last one. Have good computer skills. 1 point only. Saves time when dealing with customers.
Well, they've sort of aligned that with the second one. Typing quickly saves time when you're searching for solutions for the customers.
Right, okay. So we grant that? We think that one's fine?
Yes.
But again...
There's only one.
So panel, do we, with number C, or sample C, the assessor has judged it as competent? Are we agreed that it's not really competent, it's not yet competent?
I'd have to say so.
No.
All right, well, here's a suggested response. The candidate responded to at least 5 items with only 1 point each. For example, item 1, keep your promises. Other points were vague or incomplete. Closing the deal, for example. Closing the deal of itself does not ensure a successful outcome for the customer, as the customer may be unaware of the full extent of the deal. And the response to the item, understand human psychology, which I think was number 8, we feel was vague.
Yes.
Okay. Well, panel, we now have to look at the overall assessor judgments. Were they appropriate? Were they too harsh? Were they unjustified? Were they inconsistent? Were they too lenient or other? And this is on the checklist. We've got a tick, and we can tick more than one. Overall assessment judgments. Well, I don't believe that it was appropriate. They were appropriate for sample A, but overall, no. Were they too harsh? I don't believe so. In fact, I would reckon they're too lenient. Is that how you feel?
Yep.
Yeah.
B and C.
Yeah, B and C was the assessor was. I don't think the assessor was justified in allowing so many items to be answered with 1 bullet point only. So, leniency, I'd have to say, also unjustified. Do any of you feel comfortable in marking too lenient as well as unjustified?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that sums it up.
Right. Yeah, it suggests that the assessor was lenient in overlooking this large number of problem answers. All right, so the last bit for us as a panel is do we recommend adjustment to candidate results? And I'm suggesting that the extent and the clarity of the departure from the model answers in the assessor's guide is significant enough to warrant adjustment to candidate results for samples B and C.
Yeah.
In other words, samples B and C, the assessor concluded were competent. As a panel, we'd have to say that finding could not be substantiated by the evidence that was presented to us.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll now put together a validation action plan based upon those findings, and we will send it off to ABMN.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Kim and Jordan, for your very fine efforts, particularly looking over the documents before we came, and I feel that we've together been able to make a strong validation session with some strong, believable, evidence-based answers. Thank you for attending.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Ta.